Hello and welcome to round 13 of the 2019 Formula Virtual World Championship here from Istanbul, Turkey. My name's Bradley Downton. I'll be joined today by Lilly Westwood.
I'm dying, hello.
And Robert Mathershaw down in the pit lane.
Hello there.
So then, today the drivers will tackle 58 laps of this 5.338km circuit. Al Arkanga holds that record. It was set here last year in the Mathershaw 125-270. Adrian Simon has won all 3 races we've had so far. Can he make it 4 today? Let's take a look through the grid then. It's Nathaniel Powers on pole position for Downton. He's on the soft tyres. Enrique Ruiz lines up alongside. Ruiz on the mediums. Row 2, we have their teammates. Klaas van Snelheid starts from 3rd. Timo Kinnaman goes from 4th. Like Ruiz, they are both on the mediums. Powers, therefore, the only of the front runners on the soft tyres. Behind them, row 3 sees Lewis Ellington in the Meteor. Another outstanding effort from the Brit. He's on the soft tyres, as is Adrian Simon in 6th. The Frenchman going for, as we said, his 4th victory at this track in 4 years. He's got some tough competition ahead of him. Felix Perez starts from 7th on soft tyres as well. Likewise, Al Arkanga, the second of the DS Mathershaws, going from 8th. And rounding out the top 10, we've got Alexander Zazolia and Mario Juan Lopez. Zazolia on the softs, Lopez is on the mediums in the second of the Meteors. Row 6 sees the 2 DS Phoenix cars. Thierry Zylander, the lead runner on the hard tyres. Alvarez, his teammate, is on the softs, as are the 2 guys on the row behind him. Row 7 sees Johan Halverson and James Vazquez for North Star and Ingram, respectively. Vazquez's teammate, Jean Matson, lines up behind him in 15th. Matson is on the hard tyres. Gabriele Garcia in the second of the North Stars goes from 16th on the softs. 17th sees Carson Davenport. Davenport with an excellent run in the Lucas. He got through Q1, whereas his teammate Hutchinson didn't. Has put it 17th on the grid. He's on the soft tyres. Nikolai Milkovic in the Chima goes from 18th alongside him. He is on the mediums. Rounding out the top 20, we've got Puccio Giordano in the first of the Ocelots. He is on the mediums. And Will Hoskins in the lead Andromeda. Hoskins, one of likewise 4 drivers on the hard tyres. His teammate Rodolfo De La Fuente is another one. He goes from 21st behind him and is completes an all-Spanish. Row 11 is Diego Campos on the mediums. Victor Osberg goes from 23rd on the soft tyres with Hunter Ryan on the same tyres alongside him. In the second of the Ocelots, and on the back row of the grid, we've got Finn Schneider on the mediums and Elroy Wagner on the hards. The German failed to set a time in qualifying yesterday. So as we go down to the grid then, it's Nathaniel Powers in pole position on the right, Enrique Ruiz second on the left. It's a long hold here in Turkey. The lights go out and we're racing in Istanbul. It looks as though it's a good start from Powers. He got down to the inside. Powers into turn 1 then. Ruiz is through in second place and the top 4 are all through in order. Lewis Ellington challenging Timo Kinnaman for 4th then. Ellington around the outside and he'll have the inside line for turn 3. Can Ellington go up to 4th past Timo Kinnaman? Powers leads from Ruiz. They've got a gap back to Klaas already. And no, he can't. Adrian Simon now around the outside of Lewis Ellington to take 5th. Can Ellington fend him off? I think he might just about, and he can. No! Adrian Simon around the outside. Simon takes 5th.
Yeah, and there's a yellow flag in the first sector, so there's been some kind of contact. That's Campos and Hunter Ryan there off the circuit, so I presume they've been tangled up somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. As that was indeed then. Adrian Simon has fought his way past Lewis Ellington as they go around turn 8 for the first time.
Yes. I don't really know what else I'm supposed to add to that.
I think that was
getting some kind of feedback from the mics on track.
We do, yes. As they come towards completing the first lap then, Powers still leads from Ruiz as that cameraman was drunk, and Lewis Ellington has gone back past Adrian Simon.
Oh, has he?
He has. They're side by side now as they...
Instead of... Sorry.
Are you with us?
Yeah.
No, he hasn't. Simon then has managed to get back down the straight and into turn 1 first. So, I mean, this is absolutely crucial. Yeah, there's the 2 firsts to run in Linus Stern. This is crucial really for Adrian Simon to get ahead of Ellington. I think the DS Mathershaw is quicker in the race, but they're already now 3 seconds behind the guys in front of them after a lap.
Yeah, we've noticed this theme a lot during the season. Is whoa! Is that Vasquez going around the outside of Gabriel Garcia?
I'm not sure, but that is Hunter Ryan leaving the pit lane. So this is what happened then on the opening lap. So he came in far too hot, crossed it up, and got into the side of Diego Campos. And then, did he hit the wall on his way out? No, I don't think he did, because he looked so he still had a front wing there.
Yeah, that was absolutely you can't even argue that's Hunter Ryan's fault.
Yeah, well and truly came in there far too hot. As Nathaniel Powers got the absolute start he would have wanted, but he's under intense pressure now then from Enrique Ruiz. Let's not forget, Powers on the soft tyres, the three behind him on the mediums, so he really needs to be pulling away in this first stint, because it's pretty evident he'll be making more stops in this race.
Yeah, he needs to really step on it, because it's not too hot this race, so he shouldn't be seeing crazy amount of stops, but like I say, the softer compound is going to last less time than the harder one. That's just basic racing.
Absolutely, and a fantastic explanation there.
Yeah, I like to think that I make the sport accessible for new people. That's a naughty. So with Rob back to this race, you may be able to tell that we are going to be distracted by some of the naughty things he says.
Sorry, I wasn't... What?
I was talking to the audience, not to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I suppose that's what we're here to do, so...
It is! It is, Bradley, it is.
I was just intrigued as to why I wasn't getting notifications as to the message. Ah, there we go, I've sorted it, never mind.
Well done, Bradley. This is what it's like when a 60-year-old figures out Microsoft Excel.
Well,
not the same situation, but the feeling. So, very close at the front here is Ruiz. Yeah, he pulls out from behind the slipstream. Yeah, he's got ahead of Powers before the braking zone, and he takes the lead of this virtual Prix at the end of lap 3. And that is not what Powers would have wanted at all. He needs to build that gap, as you were saying.
Hey, that rhymed. Apologies if the start of this race has seemed slightly disjointed. Disjointed? That's not what I was after. I was after the word disjointed. We've just been having some slight technical issues, I think, between us. But yes, so as Lilly said then, Enrique Ruiz through into the lead now ahead of Nathaniel Powers, and he absolutely not what he would have wanted whatsoever.
No, and interestingly enough, as we look back, these three, now that they've stopped battling, do not seem to have lost a lot more time to the leaders.
No, they don't do that. I just noticed
They're
that
on
myself.
soft tyres. With the exception of Powers,
they
they're on
are.
soft tyres.
Yeah, they are. They are. That's very true.
But still, Ellington is yet again doing a solid job. Lopez is actually doing a good job.
Yeah, I
with
was
the,
to say, apart from Lopez, isn't
change.
Lopez on the mediums?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
With Alvarez right behind him on the soft. So again, another move that he needs to make very quick as they blast around that intense turn 8. Puts a lot of pressure on the front right tyre. We've seen, at least in other formulae, a lot of accidents happen there with exploding tyres.
Yeah, and crucial for... So, down at Phoenix, crucial for Alvarez to get past his teammate at the start, for Zylander. As Downton and Ruiz side by side once again then.
Ooh.
Ruiz holds it on. Powers cannot take back the lead. But yeah, I was just saying, down at Lopez, crucial... Lopez? No, Phoenix. Down at Phoenix, crucial for Alvarez to get past Zylander, because Zylander obviously on the hard tyres and Alvarez on the softs.
Yeah, exactly.
Alvarez has now gained another place. Sorry, he's passed Mario Juan Lopez.
JML.
And up into 10th.
Yeah, so he's slowly getting the job done, and he's only a couple seconds off the first
It's on board with Carson Davenport around the outside at turn 1 of Johan Helmerson.
What a naughty cut.
How? Portuguese. How on earth has Davenport in a Lucas just overtaken a North Star?
It's probably something to do with those red stripe extra soft tyres he's got on the car, Bradley.
He's not on the extra soft.
Yes, he is.
He's on. Well, I was. The information I was given said he was on the softs.
Hi, I'm Bradley. I can't see colours. Actually, do you know
I
what?
wasn't looking, to be fair.
That makes me the asshole, because that just makes me ableistic and colourblind. So well done me.
Yeah,
2019,
well,
I got to get woke.
We already knew you were an asshole.
Yep, that's true.
As
Oh,
Nathaniel
here
Powers
goes-
pulls out again then on Enrique Ruiz down into the hairpin. And it's, no,
Ooh.
Ruiz really squeezes him to the inside and
Yeah.
holds on to the lead.
It just looks like he's either got his tyres overheated right now or going through down the inside of that penultimate.
Oh, as that's Vasquez diving to the inside of, I think that's Thierry Zylander then.
Yeah.
Zylander holding firm at the moment in 12th place, but he's got an absolute gaggle behind him as Vasquez down the inside again at the final corner. And those hard tyres really not working for the Belgian at the moment.
I'm just wondering if that this strategy could still work for Phoenix and hold up some of their competitors. Look at that. Holds it around the outside on the harder tyre, 2 steps harder. Now that's put Vasquez, I think, under attack now from Garcia.
Yeah, I think
they're
Vasquez
side
caught
by
himself out a
side.
little on the curb on the inside of turn 1. But he certainly is under attack from Garcia. Yeah, there we see it. Davenport is indeed on the extra soft tyres.
Yeah,
And,
this is great stuff.
Isn't it? Absolutely.
You really love to see it, Bredders.
That's literally every car from Zylander down to Wagner. So that's 12th to 24 all in one train. The only two at the back that aren't involved are the two that were involved in the collision earlier in the race.
Yes. As we've now got Powers.
Powers in the slipstream of Enrique Ruiz once again. But, well, he closed rapidly up to him, but backed out of it this time, decided not to go for the move on the inside.
Yeah, maybe just biding his time, trying to feel out Ruiz's weak spots across the circuit. Because clearly, up the inside of that final corner is maybe just too tight of an angle, but it's just not working for him.
I mean, that's not the final corner, but yeah.
You know what I mean, going to the final chicane. Oh, is Davenport all over the curb
Yeah,
there?
that's Davenport looking at making a move on Garcia as well then. So Davenport in that Lucas absolutely flying here this weekend. He's
yeah, it's really on one.
He topped Q1 where Hutchinson was slowest. Put it, I think, 17th on the grid. Yeah, 17th on the grid. And now absolutely flying in the race. Davenport has just suddenly turned up this weekend.
Yeah, and I suppose it's a bit of a juxtaposition to the normal run of things down at the bottom end of the grid. Andromeda, another on the harder tyres this race, but they really seem to be struggling in this early stage, just ahead of the teams they should be ahead of, but not really anymore. And Hoskins not really gaining any ground on his teammate De La Fuente.
Sorry, Davenport's done it. Davenport is ahead of Gabriele Garcia and up into 14th place.
That's an absolute Chad move. Because we've got Powers once again in that slipstream. He's got the outside this time.
Yeah, Powers with a great run then. Moves to the outside. Enrique Ruiz covering the inside line into the hairpin. But Powers squeezes him as Ruiz did to himself a couple of laps ago. And Nathaniel Powers takes back the lead then.
Yeah, and now he's really got to try and get away as far as he can. But you just wonder how much of his tyres he's actually spent making that move happen.
Yeah, he's probably lost quite a bit of life in them, but he now needs to drop the hammer and try and create that gap.
Yeah, Giordano nearly causes contact there with Nikolai Milkovic in that Campos. Not Campos.
Campos, yeah. No. Chima. You knew you were wrong. I didn't. The top four then, absolutely line astern now. As Powers leads Ruiz, Klaas and Kinnaman. Adrian Simon is now about 4 seconds off the lead, so dropped a little bit of time, but absolutely stopped the rot from what it was on the opening lap. As we've got something from Rob down in the pit lane. Rob?
So it looks like with the top four, who picks first is going to be very important, because even though they're on the same tyres, if somebody can eke out that extra lap, they might manage to get some sort of overcut on the guys around them. Although indeed, as we've seen quite often before, maybe pitting first in this case would be the advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it'll be Powers who's into the pits first. Obviously, he's on the soft tyres. But yeah, I think the undercut will definitely come into play here today. As they start lap 9 then. The two North Stars Side by side through the final chicane, Halverson and Garcia going for it, or going at it for 14th place. Meanwhile, Carson Davenport is up past James Vasquez as well, and Davenport is into 13th and challenging Thierry Zylander. As I think we're just having some problems.
Where did you lose me?
There's Lilly.
What was I in the middle of saying?
I've no idea. You've been gone for like 2 laps.
Fuck off, have I?
It's fine, no one noticed.
But okay, that hurts my feelings more. I was just making a really good point, actually, and I bet it's probably already been made.
Oh well, I've no idea.
Anyway?
Honestly, you've been silent for like 2 laps.
Jesus Christ, my computer only just told me, because like you went quiet for like what, 30 seconds, and then it just like I dropped out the call, the video stopped like loading. Luckily, it had already loaded enough that it hasn't stopped. I mean,
well, how weird.
Race,
but it's all right.
I'm watching it live.
You're back.
Anyway, the point I was making was that
the technical issues have vanished. It's all wonderful again.
Woo! Maybe not that intense. Is that obviously with Alvarez and Zylander out being on the softs and hards respectively, this might play into Phoenix's hands because Alvarez is actually being given a gap by Zylander holding up who would be his rivals. As Davenport has passed Vasquez, I missed that. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mentioned that just before you came back.
But yeah, if you look now, Alvarez has got nearly a 10-second gap back to these guys, and if there's only a one-stop difference between the softs and the mediums especially, it's really going to play into their favour come the end of the race.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't listening to what you just said.
Alright.
What's interesting, the 2 firsts, Kanga and Ellington, absolutely nose to tail.
Yes, they are, Bradley. Well noticed.
Thank you. As are the top 4 still. Nathaniel Powers not being able to pull away.
Mind you, Kinnaman is starting to drop, just lose touch with them a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it ebbs and flows.
I love that term. It ebbs and flows.
Oh, I wonder.
I can't believe I've been gone for 2 laps. I'm so angry about that.
I mean,
said
you
a
haven't.
bunch
You've
of
now
stuff.
been back for 2 laps.
Shut up. Oh,
that's Ellington coming under pressure. So he's somewhere. Then he's lost out to Alarcanga. He's now under pressure from Felix Perez as well. But I think he's staved off the attack from the Mexican for now.
Staved off. Yeah, you really missed your chance. Oh, no. That's Davenport into the pits from 12th position. 13th position.
That obviously then why he was flying through the field. But even so, still impressive as that's Garcia down the inside.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it is. Sorry, that is Johan Halverson down the inside of turn 1 on James Vasquez and got that all wrong and very, very nearly hit the wall and then very nearly got hit by Diego Campos while recovering.
Yeah, that is really not a good move to be making in that North Star, and he's going to be really angry with himself because that train is going to be really hard to get back through. And I think with that latest... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think Rob's got some information for us following Davenport's pit stop.
So it looks like on the red mark tyres, it's going to be a 5-stop strategy for those, but then only for 3 of those stops. If they can eke it out another lap in each of those stints, they should just about get to the end on 4.
Brilliant, thank you for that one, Rob, as Ruiz closes right up onto the back of Nathaniel Powers once again. But what do you think you are, American? Red stripe tyres? They're extra softs. They have a name.
Yeah, red striped tyres. In fact, I think that was more the curb that unsettled the car.
Yeah, I was going to say, and Halverson, he saved it, and then it flicked back the other way.
Yeah, but you know, he still did a great job to avoid the wall as Matson coming under intense pressure there from Victor Osterberger, but not buckling. Obviously, the experienced Frenchman has probably been under slightly more pressing situations before, as I just ran out of how to sentence.
Yeah, I'm just intrigued. As Matson comes through, what tyres... okay, he is on the hard tyres. It just seems strange to me that in an Ingram he's being pressured by a Lopez, because let's be fair, the Lopez have been a little bit shit for most of the season.
Pretty much. But yeah, there's the 2-step tyre difference. So, what is? Do you want to know another interesting fact about this train being held up by Zylander?
I do.
Is that Davenport is only about 10 seconds off of it with that pit stop.
Ooh, this is true.
With a potential 4-stop on the horizon for red striped tyres.
Oh, sorry, Enrico Ruiz goes for the lead then. Down the inside into the hairpin on Nathaniel Powers. So I think Powers is going to squeeze him, and he does indeed. Nathaniel Powers holds the lead then, but Ruiz looking ever more threatening. However, that's he's got a slightly unfun run. I don't know what I'm going for there.
You? Oh my god. Mom spaghetti. Sorry,
he had a shit run through the chicane, essentially, is what I was trying to say, and it nearly gave Class the advantage, but it didn't, so there we go.
Basically, we've got our helicopter flying overhead. But, yeah, with the potential 4-stop on the horizon for the red striped tyres, it could actually play into Davenport's favour, but I don't know much about that.
Does our cameraman still hang from the helicopter?
Only by his neck. I think since the wife left with the kids. Am I allowed to make that joke?
No.
But I did.
No, I think that was highly inappropriate.
I would just like to say that laughter wasn't just maniacal laughter, it was laughing at a little joke that I got from my ear, from Rob in my ear. From my ear in Rob? Oh. I don't put things in Rob, it's the other way around.
Let's stop that. On board with Klaas van Snelheid then, running in 3rd place, he's got the top 2 battling ahead of him. Behind him, Perez and Zazolia still going at it in the 2 first. This is Zazolia looking at trying to make a move on his teammate, then he's down the inside, but Perez, well, he's got the outside line there around the hairpin seems absolutely favoured, doesn't it? And Perez manages to hold on to 8th place.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if perhaps the inside line is obviously a bit too dusty because it's not obviously regularly used. That might be affecting the grip when drivers are trying to make a move on the inside, especially when it's got it gets very like a shallow angle on the apex, especially. So again, I don't know.
Yeah, very much so. I'm just wondering when the pit window would be for the soft tyres. Like if someone were to stop now, how many stops they would end up be making in the race. And I'm sure our wonderful man down in the pits who knows exactly what he's on about will be able to tell us. Rob?
At the moment, they'd still just about be on a 4-stop strategy, but they'd only have 1 lap to go, I believe. So actually, they're right on the cusp of making this into a 4-stop race for them.
So we're just about to step into 3-stop territory then.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Robert.
Anytime.
How about now? No, Ruiz is down the inside.
That was Ruiz, not me. As we've seen, no grip available on that inside, but what it is doing is it's not allowing Powers to escape with this race. It's not letting him run away. Ruiz is essentially trapping him in a battle and also forcing him to use up some of the grip on his tyres.
I have to say though, what is probably quite good for Powers is that where obviously you mentioned earlier Zylander had been holding some guys up, there is a fantastic gap between Lopez and Vasquez that I should imagine Powers would probably slot into at this moment in time.
Yeah, and obviously the more laps go on, he might even fit in between Alvarez and Lopez with another nice gap from
or Zazolia and Alvarez.
Yeah, so it's really made it interesting for the midfield because they're all just lined up, but you know,
I'm really surprised at the lack of pace that we've seen from the hard tyres though. I didn't expect them to be this slow. I mean, you look and Zylander's lost a second a lap to his teammate.
Well, don't forget, it really is not that warm here, Bradley.
No, that's true. I keep thinking it's like Turkey.
Ruiz
and
on the outside,
Ruiz, yeah, there we go.
Across here.
No, absolutely. Ruiz goes to the outside and he's ahead of Nathaniel Powers even before the corner.
Yeah, just gets that done. Covers off the move from the inside. Textbook, really.
And
Sweet,
I
it's
think
like-
Powers looked really unsettled there through the middle part of the chicane.
He's gone in the pits, I think.
Well, I was just wondering that. He has Powers pits, so Rob.
Yeah, he's just
Good
coming
stuff.
in now. Unfortunately, I can't see an awful. Here we are. He's just hit his mark and changed the tyres. Really good stop. So that will be, I would have thought, a nailed-on three-stop strategy there.
Yeah, and I think we've got both Mattershaw's and Ellington in behind him.
Yeah, and Alvarez as well, so all the soft runners.
Simon got jumped on Kanga still. He held up his Estonian teammate coming out of the pits a little bit with the double stack there. Ellington looks like he's got similar, and Alvarez in the pits as well, from currently in 11th position.
Yeah, thanks for that, Rob. So as they rejoin, Powers are slotted in between Zazolia and Lopez indeed, and quite a big gap opened up there. I'm wondering if there was a small problem for Lopez ever so briefly. Simon and Kanga have come out behind the second Meteor. They've got Ellington behind them. I wonder if Meteor are going to use team tactics here to try and get Ellington back ahead of the Mattershaw's. As yeah, indeed, that is Alvarez side by side with, I think that's De La Fuente, and there was very nearly contact, but luckily they both get away with it.
And that could well pay to Alvarez's chances of a good result, because he's stuck behind two cars with very hard tyres.
He is in an awful lot of traffic. Let's not forget, he is on some now fresh soft rubber. So with a bit of luck, he will be able to pass these guys fairly easily.
Yeah. It does look a lot like the soft-tyred runners were very unsettled there on the cold tyres through turn 8. But it looks like he might have a run. He does, actually.
Did we work out just then how long it took for a pit stop?
About... No. Here come Perez and Zazolia, so we could find out.
Yeah, so both first runners then managed to go an extra lap. But I don't think that's going to help them at all.
I think it must only be about a 20-second pit delta, because Powers was only just behind Ruiz.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking.
But I can't believe it's a sub 20-second pit delta.
Yeah, so there we go. We've just had it in our ear from Rob. It's about 20 seconds.
So
Thank you for that
pretty,
one.
All things pointing to a very good potential for more stops on your strategy.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the time that Powers has gained already. That's when I looked at about this point last lap, it was 18.6, so that's over a second gain in a lap.
Yeah, he's just tearing time
Absolutely
out.
Absolutely fine. Yeah, but look at the clear air he's got. Everyone's got out of his way now. He's now got 14 seconds of clear air up to the back of Timo Kinnaman.
Yeah!
Make that 15, sorry. I can't
Alvarez
count.
has already passed De La Fuente. Ellington lost... Oh, he'd already lost that time to the DSs, who are now right on the back of JML.
Crucially, for the two firsts, going that extra lap has meaned... No, that's not a word. I mean, has meant... they've managed to get back out ahead of Thierry Zylander as Nathaniel Powers bangs in the fastest lap, and that is very unsurprising.
You're very unsurprising.
Thank you.
That is surprising, actually. Kinnaman's closing back in on this fight for the lead.
Well, he's closed back in on Klaas, but Klaas has fallen back slightly from Ruiz, as that
Simon
is
a very clumsy move.
Yeah, Simon desperately now trying to get past Lopez. I think they've realised that they're going to be boxed in at this point and backed into Lewis Ellington.
Yeah, they've already lost only about half a second, but they don't want to lose any time. As we're getting some rude words in our ears from Rob, presumably on the phone to Simon. Don't text and drive. But I know how radios work. Right, I need to get... I forgot that that's not a good thing to do. Just have a chat with Rob while I'm trying to commentate. Powers is still ripping time out of them. He's down to 15 seconds now.
Yeah, absolutely flying as Adrian Simon messed that one up, and that's allowed Kanga through.
Cheeky bastard.
Or has it? No, Kanga.
No.
Suddenly slow on the exit, and Adrian Simon goes back into sixth then. But the pair of them still stuck behind Lopez. Is one of them going to go to the outside? So Lopez covers the inside. Yeah. Adrian Simon is there, though, and that is surely going to be the Frenchman through and into fifth place.
Yeah. And
Kanga follows him through then. So Lopez has to concede both positions. Falls down to 7th. Simon and Kanga back into 5th and 6th.
Yeah, and I've got to say, down to Rob in the pit lane. Rob, how long do you reckon it's going to take you to change your underwear after how close your two drivers just got?
Well, it was a little bit difficult in the kink before the final section of the circuit there, but I have it on good authority that Apia has just given them both a little bit of a calm down. At the moment, we're settling for the decent points.
All right, thanks for that, Rob. That's what I love about having a team owner as our pit guy. We can get live reactions as we want them. As Davenport has already started carving his way through this train. He's got past Vasquez and Campos, and he's right on the tail of Wagner as well. Scratch that, he's battling with Wagner for position. He's doing a solid job, but he's got to pit again in a minute.
Yeah, that's
Klaas?
Timo Kinnaman and Klaas van Snelheid. Kinnaman down the inside then, and obviously we've established that the inside line doesn't work there, but Kinnaman already on Klaas, and that's quite concerning for Downton, who look as though, I mean, with the exception of Powers, who's hugging a sneeze. Bless. Sorry.
Hot. Oh boy, so much for a calm down from Martin Lapierre, as Kanga just goes right around the outside of his French teammate. Makes him look a right friend.
As back to my point, aside from Powers, who is absolutely ripping time out of everyone on the fresh soft tyres, Downton look as though they've struggled for pace in the opening few laps here.
Yeah, definitely. They look like they got some of it back when Powers led for an extended period of time, but just wondering if they are.
You say that, but he wasn't able to
quickly.
pull away on a softer compounded tyre.
That's true, but Ruiz was preventing him by actually launching move after move up the inside. As we got Davenport trying to make moves, I think he's gotten past Wagner now.
Yes.
And that moves him up into 18th place as Hoskins defends from Alvarez, I think, into turn 1. I wasn't quite looking.
No.
So Sergio gradually watching his race slip away here. Instead, it being replaced with Hoskins' rear end.
Interestingly, then, the hard tyres perhaps seem to be working at this moment in time. If we ignore the top 10, who are, look as though they're probably going to be the point scorers anyway, because they seem as though there's a bit of a gap between them and the rest of the midfield. You've got Zylander in 11th on the hards, Matson 12th on the hards, Milkovic is on the mediums in 13th, but then Hoskins is 14th on the hards, De La Fuente 16th on the hards.
That's a good point. I suppose it does make sense that it would take time for the tyres to actually come into play for them.
Yeah, and they are only now
hang
8
on,
laps.
I'm just going to cut across you. We've got Alvarez making a move around the outside of Hoskins at the final chicane. Gets that move done on the softer tyres and moves up into 14th position.
Okay, make that 15th for Hoskins and 17th for De La Fuente. But my point still stands, and we are now also only 8 laps from a one-stop.
Indeed.
Which is interesting given the medium-tired runners still haven't pitted either.
Yeah, I wonder if they might be able to make it.
I mean, I'd be surprised, but we're firmly in 2-stop territory now.
Yeah, as we've got some action down in the pit lane. Robert, give us information based on the circumstances I've just provided.
So we've just got Elroy, no. Carson Davenport in the pit lane at the moment. He's just fixed there. He's back down into 25th place. For all this good work, he is now finding himself towards the back of the field.
Yeah, it looks like those red stripe tyres really are going to give him a hard time then this afternoon, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. And possibly Elroy Wagner too, by the look of it.
I didn't get the joke.
That didn't surprise me.
Oh, because you said something else.
It's move on now. It's at the moment's past. As Ruiz leads them by nearly 3 seconds now from Klaas van Snelheid. So the Brazilians were able to stretch the gap up in front.
I love a Brazilian. I'm not allowed to say that, I know, but
Powers now got the gap between himself and Ruiz down to sort of around 12 3/4 seconds.
Yeah, but it hasn't moved as much as it was earlier in the stint. So
no, I think the freshness of the tyres is obviously worn away by now, hasn't it?
Definitely. Powers, I think, is just settling into a rhythm. and taking time out of Ruiz, who, to be fair, does look to have stepped up the pace a bit with Klaas and Kinnaman now 3 seconds back from him.
Yes.
Bradley doesn't want to add to that, so that's okay. He's a lumberjack and he's okay.
Oh, as that looked like Perez was out rather wide, and I think that's given his teammate, whose name I've just... Zazolia. There we go. A run, but nothing doing there.
He gave his teammate the runs.
The pair of them tucked right up behind JML, who is obviously on the medium tyres, hasn't pitted yet.
Oh.
That's why.
Oh, here we go. Zazolia on the outside. Perez just closes the door.
Yeah, but I think Perez might get boxed in by Lopez here, and that's going to give Zazolia the run then.
Oh, God, we've not seen this in a while.
No, Zazolia squeezes Perez on the final corner. The pair of them side by side as they head down the straight then. And it's, I think Perez going to come out on top and hold his position then, and he has indeed.
Looks like, I think Adam Blocker might be on the radio there. Just tell them to calm it down, get past JML and get after Ellington, because that's their main focus, I think, today.
What I love is that Ellington's made a pit stop and is still 5 seconds ahead of his teammate.
Well, you know, when you're not a garbage driver, these things do happen.
Imagine where that team could be if they had 2 competent drivers in that car.
Oh, if only.
I have to say, I wonder if Mathershaw would fear for their 3rd place if there were 2 great drivers in that team.
I reckon they probably would. And they are, I mean, even now they're running in 7th and 8th position, which is a fairly decent spot, but I would imagine they would have just forced Mathershaw to invest a bit more on the season. Oh, timer screens went a bit funny there.
You went a bit funny there.
Yeah, you went a bit Euro-nonce there.
I mean, that's a good one coming from you.
I haven't nonced on anyone in a year.
You're a constant nonce.
Nonstance.
We've just been told off.
Yeah. But it's good fun. Oh, here we go. JML under pressure now from the 2 firsts.
Yeah, still neither of them have been able to make a move, and I was expecting more than this. As Perez launches down the inside of turn 1. Just as I say that, I think he heard me and decided enough was enough. And Felix Perez then on JML as they head to turn 3. And I think he's going to get this. No, he's not going to get this done. In fact, he's lost 9 to his teammate.
Oh, that's rough. JML actually doing a teammate a lot of favours here. Playing the team game very efficiently.
Yeah, I mean, Ellington now has a mammoth lead over this pair.
Yes.
As Klaas van Snelheid once again under pressure from Timo Kinnaman then. Kinnaman, is he going to go to the outside into the hairpin? No, he's not. He's not quite close enough this time round.
Yeah, see, the problem is Kinnaman doesn't have big balls when it comes to the front runners at the moment. He just doesn't seem as prepared to... We've heard a report in our area suggesting it may be a lack of porridge, which I would believe. He was fed porridge every day at Westwood. But I never see porridge at the Franklin team motorhome, but that's because I'm not allowed in.
I was going to say, has anyone ever been in the Franklin team motorhome? Is Alexander? Alexander?
Huh?
That's not right. Zazolia dives to the inside of Lopez, trying to take 8th place. It's not worked, although he's just about managed to hang around the outside with the second part of the chicane, and this might pay off for Zazolia. And he's, I think, we've finally seen our first move set up on the inside of that hairpin, as we have a yellow flag in the final sector. And I wonder what's going on there then. We've cut to a shot that's Finn Schneider in amongst the 2. And that's a big accident for a North Star, and that is Gabriele Garcia. And something has gone very, very wrong there for the Brazilian.
Yeah, for starters, he's missing 2 wheels and one of his wings. I think that reaction is pretty wholesome. Oh, that might be the issue. At least they green flag it immediately after the...
yeah, so here we go then. On board with Garcia, and what's gone wrong? So he's over the curve on the inside, and he's just lost it and hit the inside wall. And that's a heavy impact there for Garcia then.
Yeah, well, maybe you should...
And I've just spat on my screen.
Oh, that's hot. I wish I was just screen. Apparently we've got...
Ruiz pits.
So let's go down to our pit bitch.
Yep, so the race leader in now on the white stripe tyre there. He's come in and very clean pit stop by the looks like. Possibly a little bit slow and steady from Franklin Boyd, but that's fair enough. He's going to drop down to fourth by the look of it, but obviously comfortably in fourth position with the DS cars so far behind.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Rob.
Interestingly, both Klaas and Kinnaman stayed out.
Yes, they did.
It will be very interesting to see whether or not Ruiz gets the jump on those two on the comparable tyre, or whether or not the overcut is going to be what works today.
Well, while we're down with you, you said to Darius that you have a report on the condition of Gabriel Garcia.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, shortly after the accident, Gabrielli radioed into the team. The team have given us the thumbs up. It looks like he's absolutely fine. He walked out the car, so he's just going to go to the medical centre for the checkup, and after that, we should be okay to see him.
Wonderful news. As JML dives into the pits, Rob?
Yes, I think he I have. I've just seen him come in now. As well as that, it's Diego Campos. As well, Lopez is out into 14th position, which isn't too bad considering where he was to start with. Campos, however, does look like he's going to drop all the way back. Yeah, only Ryan is still behind him.
I'm not going to lie, that really threw me then. You said Campos. I looked at CAM and saw, and in my mind it just went Camish.
Cameron.
To be fair, I hope Diego Campos' brakes are better than the one. Oh, and
I mean, that's harsh. Incoming, yep.
And Kinnaman into the pit lane. I've just seen him coming now. Very, very quick into the pit lane there, both of them. It's going to be Van Schnellhuis to hit Matt first, Kinnaman, and it looks like, oh my god, the camera's going everywhere. How have we got the and it's Van Schnellhuis out ahead of Kinnaman, but we're looking at, I think we might see them both jump Ruiz. No, Ruiz has just gone past. I'm completely wrong there.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, Ruiz is well ahead of the pair of them to the tune of some 6 seconds. And in fact, Timo Kinnaman, I think, is going to lose out here to both of the DS Matheshaws.
That is rough.
XPA, he's come out behind. I really wasn't expecting that, I have to be honest.
No, nor was I. Klaas van Snelheid has, well, it'd be grateful he's got ahead of them, but it's only just. Kanga and Simon have been absolutely flying.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the way that Kinnaman came into the pits, he slowed down unnecessarily when Klaas pulled into his pit box and then got held when Klaas came out behind him.
Yeah,
so,
he did lose far more time than I think he would have been expecting.
Yeah, but still, I think that was a bit of an ambitious gap to try and fit Kinnaman in. But then they couldn't risk losing the time to the undercut.
Absolutely, but this is going to cost him now having to try and move his way past the two Mastershaw cars.
Yeah, I think that puts him firmly out of... Oh, we got a yellow flag in the first sector.
Yeah.
Who's in the first sector? That might be a certain race leader.
I don't think he'll be there yet, to be honest.
Oh, it's gone away. Well, I don't know. First sector is the line.
Well, yeah, but...
Riding on board... Oh,
these guys are only 14 seconds. Ooh, Kinnaman dives to the inside of Andrew and Simon. And I thought he'd left that a day late and $1 short, to be honest.
Day late, $1 short, he said it!
I've been trying to get that in all race.
Rob, we're not allowed to say that. Not well, it doesn't stop us, but
I mean, it stops me.
I think I just got my mic wet. Ugh.
Where did you? I'm not going to ask that question.
Bob. Oh, there's a bit of front wing there. That looked like a green end plate from a car.
A green car?
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be from. I don't know. It might be. No, it wouldn't.
Well, it's not going to be from Matt Lopez, is it?
It's all going to be from your mum, Bradley. It might be from an Andromeda.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Yeah, thank you, bitch. Love you.
Right, no.
I know what colours are different.
Are you sure?
No. To be fair, I'm usually quite good at separating colours. That was probably as far as I'm allowed to go.
Timo Kinnaman then, still stuck behind the two DS Mathershaw cars, and he's now lost 4 seconds to Klaas van Snelheid.
Yeah. Not great for the Finn, who's a bit of a...
Klaas,
okay.
No, Kinnaman down the inside of Adrian Simon that turn 1, but no, he's not that straight that works. Simon holds onto a position.
Yeah, Simon doing very well on those old tyres. Hey, Alvarez has finally met up with his old teammate. His current teammate.
teammate.
Ha!
That's why the cars look the same. That's
Hey,
what that means.
They're sponsored by Vita. This
If-
just in, Alex
Vitafoam.
Easton likes feet.
No, it's Vitafoam.
Pizza time.
No, that's not what I said.
Pizza
There's
time.
contact between the two Phoenix cars. Alvarez
That's
then down the inside of his teammate, and there was contact between the front wheels there, and both of them very, very lucky to get away with that one.
Yeah, I imagine Alex, I love feet, Easton is going to be very unhappy on the radio to tell them to just cool it and probably tell Zylander to let Alvarez pass.
I just as Kinnaman once again dives to the inside of Adrian Simon. He obviously hasn't learned that the inside there doesn't work.
Oh, Alex, I was bred Easton.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, that explains it.
Kinnaman's
set
round.
himself around.
Timo Kinnaman has spun at turn 1, then trying to
here
pass
it goes.
Adrian Simon, and he's backed it into the gravel, but he's managed to get away with that one. But Kinnaman has lost a shed load of time, and here comes Lewis Ellington then. Ellington with a fantastic run on the soft tyres. Is he going to go up the inside of turn 3? Oh, he tries it, but Kinnaman shuts the door.
Yeah, it was worth a try. Kinnaman obviously on those dirty tyres. That's a good point. Just had an area that Simon is very close to the race win. Isn't that right, Rob?
Well, he's only 4 places away, to be fair, in 16 seconds, which is a damn sight closer than I was expecting.
To be fair,
Well,
DS have always
yeah.
seemed a bit stronger here than they do at other tracks. Is that historically they've run well here, winning all of them so far.
Historically, they've run well here. We've had 3 races and they've won all 3 of them. I'd say that's more than well. That's bloody brilliant.
Yeah, but if you look at where they are, they're now back really pace-wise where you imagine they should be.
Yeah, as Powers dives into the pits then for his second stop. Rob?
Yeah, he's hit his marks well again, and as usual, quick stop by the Downton boys, new set of yellow striped tyres, and he's making out cleanly. It looks like, Ruiz has just gone through, Van Schnellheit too, and Alakanga and Adrian Simon both into the pits there, so that will release Kinnaman.
Yeah, and sorry, Rob, I'm just going to interrupt. I think with Kinnaman's mistake, Powers will be able to rejoin in 3rd place, and indeed he does.
Whoa, that's not right. How many seconds behind was Ruiz? Like 3?
Sorry, what?
Like, that's...
No, Ruiz was about...
To cut across you, importantly, there, Kanga got out in front of both first, but Adrian Simon is now behind both of them.
Yeah, so he is. We've just seen that on
Of
screen.
difference.
And that has not worked for Adrian Simon whatsoever then.
Yeah, he's going to be
And,
stuck behind these first for a couple of laps until they pit.
Well, yeah, so much like Kinnaman in the first stint, that is not going to help him at all, but yeah, that's true actually. Zazolia and Perez will both dive into the pits probably at the end of this lap. So Simon's not going to be too hard done by here. As,
Trying to think.
no?
Kinnaman was about 20 seconds back, and now he's only about 5 seconds back.
What?
I'm just trying to, I'm not sure if 20 seconds is the correct pit delta.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Powers was about 5 clear of Ruiz. It's about right. You can't math. We know that.
Wait, who's that? Who's right?
Well, only one of us is male.
Oh, okay, C1.
As the 2 first dive into the pits, then Zazolia leading Perez in, and that frees Adrian Simon. But he's lost in that lap alone. He's lost about 2-3 seconds to his teammate. As the 2 firsts exit the pits, then in the same order they came in, and I wonder if they're going to get out in front of JML here. Yeah, they should do, because Lopez only just coming onto the start finish straight now. Then. As Lily's obviously decided she doesn't want to talk to me any longer. Zylander then in 11th, and Zylander still not made his pit stop, I don't think, Rob.
Certainly haven't seen him in yet. I'm expecting him in relatively soon because we're well over halfway on the hard tyre there, but looks like it might be a relatively good strategy. If you add 20 seconds to where he is, he's going to drop down to about 14th, 15th, and if the cars that are then in front of him still need to pit, then ultimately he could be right back up where he is.
How do you work out he'd fall to 14th or 15th?
Because 58 plus 20
69.
a minute and 8, which is about where Wagner is.
58 plus 20 is a minute and 8.
No, it's a minute and 8.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It'd be about 20th.
Yeah,
Oh, is that Spitfire like the beer?
certainly is.
Nice. That's a nice ale. Beer. I don't know which one it is. It's just good.
As I just noticed, Power's just improved on his fastest lap.
By like less than a tenth.
Hey, he improved. No one else has beaten it.
I am right now. Did you like that?
You just...
Oh man, oh, I've just been told off. Yeah.
So into the pits comes Johan Halvorsen then, and it's another one of the soft-tired runners. I don't think, I don't think Halvorsen's really in the shot window for points today, is he?
In the
shop window for points. That's not a phrase. Don't use that one.
He's probably about as likely to end up with points as Zylander is after my good math.
At least Zylander's only 3 seconds away at the moment.
Very true.
Zylander is like a cross between the Zoolander and the Highlanders.
I mean, not really.
Ooh. Oh, so my cat just dropped off a pretty intense poo, and I can smell it from upstairs and around the corner. That's quite impressive.
Nice.
I just felt like I'd share that.
Why have you brought your cat into the commentary box?
Well, I haven't. She's downstairs and around the corner.
Okay, why have you brought your cat into the paddock?
Because, I don't know, I like smelling my cat's poos.
I mean, that's just weird.
How loud is my coughing, by the way?
Very loud.
Oh, well, you're very loud and no one likes you. Your parents tried to abort you, but they got it wrong.
I mean, sometimes you just need to stop.
Yeah, maybe.
As Enrico Ruiz then puts a lap on... No, he doesn't, because Osberg's going to fight back. And Victor Rosberg is once again costing Enrico Ruiz here. So it was Osberg who Ruiz hit last time out in Bahrain, wasn't it? When he broke his front wing and lost the win.
Script. Here we go, it's happening. Ruiz up the inside at turn 1.
Oh, and I was so hopeful.
I think Jamie might have actually gone and killed Dylan if it happened.
Yeah, and I think now... No, I was going to say I think Osberg's let him by, but he hasn't.
He's just gone and pranked him there. Ruiz has had to save a spin.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't funny, really. Osberg really needs to be moving out of the way. This is costing Ruiz. Mind you, he is some 6 seconds clear of Last Man Schnellheit. Solid effort.
Yeah, that's true.
There we go. So
slowing up
Osberg slowed, but on the apex of all of turn 8. And Ruiz has to go around the outside, and that's costing... Look how much time... I was going to say look how much time it's costing him, but... Oh no, they are closing in on him now. And that's allowed... So now Osberg gets out of the way, but he's let Hunter Ryan through as well. So the Swede really messed that one up.
I hope he drives boats better than he drives cars, but given the handling for Lopez, he might have some experience in that area. Boom, I just dissed Osberg and Lopez in one sentence. Come at me.
No.
I'm allowed to do this, people.
I mean, to be fair, I'm fairly sure you've offended more people than that in one go before.
I have. Do you want to see how I can offend an entire...
No. No.
It's one word. No. One word.
No.
What if
absolutely not. As we see the two first then, round turn 8, Now, sort of like solidly all on their own. As I think we've got something from Rob down in the pit lane.
He's nagging us.
You forget that I can hear all the commentaries, Lily. The way that you offend everybody at once is by turning up.
Oh, that's not nice. That's a dig on my recent coming out, I'll bet. I'm going to have you in front of an Equality at Work Act tribunal.
I
More
mean,
a reflection of you turning up.
What, because everyone loves me?
I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure this counts as work, so I don't think that's going to happen.
I get paid in joy and laughter.
You don't.
I don't. You're absolutely right. Ruiz is still losing time.
I mean, yeah, a little, but don't forget Powers is on fairly fresh soft tyres. What I'm finding interesting is that Kinnaman has gained absolutely nothing on any of them.
Yeah, maybe his little off-track excursion is just soiled tyres somewhat, or maybe he sustained some extra damage that we didn't see.
He dented his confidence.
He did rapidly slam the car into reverse and put the car back.
The hard-tired runners are in the pits.
Oh!
Rob?
Yeah, so that means that Wagner's down in 23rd position, Hopkins in 22nd and out. It looks like we should be expecting where is he on this list? So Zylander's just come out in 19th, the minute and 27 off the pace. So it looks like he's probably, although actually up to 12th is only 8 seconds behind. So if they pit again, he looks like he might be in with a shout of getting close to the points again.
Yeah, certainly will. There's I've just noticed De La Fuente's 12th. Campos is 13th.
Yeah, but they haven't pitted yet, Brad.
No, I know, but just seeing
Pretty
Campos
fun.
13th is a little bit weird.
Seeing Campos in a drive is a little bit weird. He's not great.
Well, this is true.
He's just lucky that Ahmed has got such a love for him, because I keep it age appropriate for the 14-year-old.
13, I think.
He's 14.
I thought he was
He was
13.
born in 2005. Alvarez might be getting around the outside of 2 cars here. No. Is this going to box him in?
Yeah, that's De La Fuente then. Just drifting across to the outside line. As but ooh, Alvarez absolutely nails the both of them and almost forced. I mean, that was almost Alvarez forcing De La Fuente into the pit lane. And I had the feeling the Spaniard would be diving in anyway. But meanwhile, Campos is battling with his teammate. Milkovic dives to the inside of turn 1. And I thought there was going to be contact there between the pair of them.
Everyone did. That was hella close. It's definitely, the action has stagnated somewhat.
As that allows Alvarez free then and into 11th place. As a few of the guys in front of him hit, and De La Fuente has managed to come out in last.
Ah. That's not good. It's not funny. We shouldn't.
That's a little bit mean.
Whereas the overcut wasn't more effective.
Hang on,
actually.
what tyres is De La Fuente on?
Hards.
No, of course he is. Who else just pitted? Matson. He's on half of the month.
Robert just made an excellent joke in my ear. That's James Vasquez. He's driving in Ingram.
It is. So what have we got? We've got 20 laps left in this race then.
Yes.
And as that's Milkovic then around the outside of Diego Campos for 12th position.
Solid job.
Yeah, and the whole midfield is a gaggle. Davenport's still doing a really solid job here.
Yeah, he's doing his best to keep it stuck in.
The fact that he's still mixing it with these guys is actually really impressive, considering he's already made, Rob, help me out here, 3 stops?
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
He's bolstered up for a 5-stop now, because he doesn't seem to have extended any of his stints.
It would appear so, yeah. I think he might have extended one of them by 1 lap.
But he needs 3. Well, if he extends this one and the last one, then he should be alright.
Oh, is that Halverson trying to pass Campos and not making it? Sorry.
Sorry, what were we going to say, Rob?
Yeah, potentially he could do, but I think with him being in traffic and battling so hard, it will have an effect on tyre wear.
Alright, thanks for that, Rob. Sorry, I just had a drink. Is that Oh, I thought Garcia was going to go around the outside.
I mean, Garcia crashed several laps ago.
That's why I stopped saying words. Vasquez up the inside of Zylander lane. Solid job there of defence.
Yeah, trying. It's a great little scrap in this midfield, isn't it? All the way from, I mean, Alvarez has broken away now, so all the way from Milkovic down to about, what, the Ingram pair?
I wasn't listening to you, Bradley. Sorry.
Well, I mean, that's just because you're a bit rubbish.
Ah!
There's Schneider then, Finn Schneider on Johan Halvorsen. And Schneider, another driver having a really good race actually here.
Well, what do you expect from former Westwood blood? He's my son.
Although he has just lost back out to Halvorsen. There's Nathaniel Powers then is coming up on the back of all of this traffic now, and that is going to hamper his progress. In fact, he was only 8.5 seconds. He looks to the inside to try and lap Wagner, and well, that nearly didn't work at all. He was about 8.5 seconds behind Ruiz. That's now grown to nearly 10.5. So Powers losing a lot of time already. Meanwhile, Enrico Ruiz has found himself absolutely mired right in the middle of the midfield.
I was going to use that word, you cunt. Oh.
Well,
sorry. Oh, sorry.
He's done the Ingram pair and now puts a lap on Zylander as well. And Zylander in that has allowed Matson through.
Sorry, I was having a coughing fit. I'd like to apologise for that. That was, I felt like I pronounced that one a little too harshly as well. But yeah, he's absolutely doing his best to get through this traffic, but there's only so much he can do without without losing time, unfortunately.
We're going to need to timestamp that for Ahmed to... it's alright, he doesn't listen to commentary anyway, does it?
No, he doesn't. That's why! Now we know.
Well, we already knew it was because of you.
That's
oh dear, it's gone very wrong for North Star today, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's the second time Halvorsen spun at turn 1, and he's still sat there in the exit of the pit lane.
That's a fun place to be. He's going to drive it into
He's going to hit the wall. Yep, there we go.
Buddy, just learn to do a 3-point turn. It's not hard.
Maybe the North Star doesn't have a reverse gear.
Oh, that's a good point. Rob has just said in our ears that he wasn't allowed to reverse because there's traffic coming up behind on the racetrack.
Well, that's a poor excuse. We have a yellow flag in Sector 1, and that's Halvorsen on 2 wheels. And that's going to be Johan Halvorsen into the wall. And, well, I'm not quite sure what he's playing at, but Halvorsen has got this lap very, very wrong indeed. And he's only about 5 corners into it, and he's now going to have to dive in.
Wait, that's Kanga. No rear wing.
Oh, yeah.
No rear wing. So there's been some kind of contact there, and Alar Kanga is going to be put like 2 laps down. We won't put Rob on just yet because we can't let him say that. Actually, you know what? I just said that word, so...
No, we're just going to leave it.
Aww.
Yeah, so Alar Kanga and Johan Halvorsen then are both going to require a trip to the pits for a new rear wing. And as Lilly pointed out, that is about a 2-lap job.
Yeah. It's not easy to just bolt a wing.
Oh, as in comes Powers. Powers for his 3rd pit stop then, and he's now 14 seconds behind Ruiz.
I'm just wondering, Powers has been... Is that going to be a 4-stop for Powers? He's been pitting on lap 14, 28, 42, 56. So if he doesn't extend this last stint, he will have another stop to make.
Oh.
Am I right, Rob? Down in the pit lane. Just confirm that for me, please. Tell me I'm clever.
Yep.
Oh, hang on, sorry, we've got a replay. This is on board. This is on board with Powers. That's why Powers is so far behind then. As Halvorsen was messing it up at turn 1, he got connected with one of the Lopez cars, and this is Kanga down the inside of Halvorsen, and they came together as well then.
Really not seeing how that... now I see it.
Yeah.
That's,
so that is probably why Halvorsen ended up on 2 wheels. There's, caught the curb on the inside.
And because he had no downforce. Oh, he did have the rear wing, and then he didn't.
And then he decided he didn't want it anymore.
This is soil goods. I shan't
that's-
be using them.
What that's done then, with Alar Kanga being forced into the pit, it means that a points position has opened up for one of the midfield teams in the battle that looks ridiculously close and is currently being won by Sergio Alvarez. Suddenly there's a chance there.
What tyres is Milkovic and Campos on? Mediums, right?
Mediums, yeah.
What
So
about
they've made
Madsen?
one pit stop and need to make another. But
Madsen's
I
on
was
a
just
hard
looking
track.
at exactly that. They are one place outside of the points and ahead of everyone behind them, funnily enough.
And I mind you, there are a lot of drivers on the hard tyres that are going to come back soon. Don't forget. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, did we interrupt you, Rob? Were you about to tell us stuff?
No.
Okay. Thanks, Rob.
I think they're ahead of everyone behind them is possibly the stupidest thing I've ever said.
Yeah, I wasn't going to pick up on it, but if you're going to go in it, that was a pretty dumb thing to say. Silly goose.
Well done, me.
Well done, Bradley. Interestingly, losing that time has put Powers behind Simon.
Yes, and Rob has just made a very good point. There are 6 cars in the first 6 places.
Don't believe you. It's
Hang
fake
on.
news. Next,
No.
you'll be telling me the birds are real.
I read that. Okay, I got that message wrong. I thought what you meant was there are 6 cars from different teams in the first 6 places, which I also realised was wrong.
Did you not realise he was? Oh no! Surely he would say there's 6 teams in the first 6 places,
Yeah,
not 6
well,
cars.
Shut up.
You've accidentally been deliberately married.
That was fantastic, Rob. If you were up here, I'd say give me a high five, but you're not. So just give yourself a sad pat on the back. I heard it. That even sounded sad.
As Nathaniel Powers bangs in another fastest lap.
Another 10th quicker than he was before.
Good effort.
He's done what the experts might refer to as a solid job.
Indeed,
Although,
he is,
so did
he
my
is
cat.
half a minute off the lead now, though. And actually behind Adrian Simon after the pit stop.
I said that like a minute ago.
Well, no one listened to you.
Fuck you, man.
And what are you worrying about, Lily?
Oh, I was gonna answer a question out loud, but I remembered I'm not allowed to. Oh, alright, so I've been challenged to a duel.
No, you
by- oh,
haven't. No,
it's
I'm gonna interrupt you there. Rob, in the pit lane, you have news.
Yeah, so after the incident between Kanga and Halverson, it looks like that Halverson has come back out as well. But quite impressively, I think DS Mathershaw have managed to get Kanga's car out with only losing 1 lap down on the pace.
I mean, could it be that he has pretty much nearly lost 2 laps and is literally only just ahead of the race leader?
I do think that's still a pretty good effort, personally.
It is.
Yeah.
Also, what did you guys think I meant? Like, I was going to assume when someone just tells me in my ear, throw down. That's obviously a Yu-Gi-Oh challenge.
It really isn't.
I don't want to sound old, I don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh is.
Seriously, Yu-Gi-Oh is old.
Yeah, to be fair,
No,
Yu-Gi-Oh was around when we were little.
Yeah, no, I'm really old.
You're 2 years older than me, buddy.
Yeah, I know, but I did old people things from a very young age.
Like opioids.
Not quite that much. No.
When he was 5, he'd sit there with his pipe and slippers reading the newspaper.
I can picture that.
No, but I would watch the 24 hours of Le Mans for the entire race.
5?
Yes, at 5.
Christ.
On a bike.
Anyway, we digress.
Jesus Christ. Rides a bike. That's because
Let's
he's
stop that there,
fucking
because I think you're going to insult several people.
I thought you were going to use another word for a ditch then.
No, but I used another word for Jew.
Right, moving on. The 2 Ingrams on screen battling then. Enrique Ruiz, though, leads this one with just now 13 laps to go. 5.6 seconds clear of Klaus van Schnellheid. It's, well, I'd say it's looking quite good for the Brazilian. As Nathaniel Powers closing in on Adrian Simon for 4th, and well, I think he's really going to need to take that back because, as mentioned earlier, he may be having to make a 4th stop. Is Simon pits, Rob?
Simon
Yeah, I totally expected that, to be fair, because I called him in. But he's coming. He's just come past the box there, and he's now hit his marks. And as usual, the DS guys have done a decent job. Just a little bit slow on the right hand side there, actually.
So, Rob,
And,
am I right in thinking this is the scheduled stop? So, in that case, then, that meant Powers would have pitted earlier than necessary. So, he obviously picked up some damage in that incident with Wagner.
yeah, I think we might have to see Powers in one more time right at the end.
He didn't pit because of damage though, because he was pitting every 14 laps.
No, I don't think he was.
I think he was pitting he was pitting around the same time as Adrian.
Yeah, so it would have been 15 or 16. Yeah, so Powers was in early.
Yeah, I think it's been induced by damage with that collision, for sure.
Gosh darn it.
It is interesting to note, though, that it's another race where the back markers have somewhat altered the result of the cars up at the front.
That's going to be a bit of a topic of discussion afterwards. There's the lonely
Fire
Ellie.
them all!
Fire
Out
them
of
all?
the cannon.
No, fire.
Yes, out of the cannon.
I mean, that works.
At the Downtons.
No. Unless they're named Vokalin, that's not going to happen, is it?
Sebastian Kokovan. Robert doesn't like that joke. Neither does Bradley. No one does, but I do, so I keep telling him.
On screen then, we have Lewis Ellington. Ellington done a solid job, but he's lost a lot of ground from his starting position.
I feel like someone else had the same thought I did.
As the two first cars dive into the pits, Rob.
I'm sorry, Lily keeps saying things in the ear by muting her microphone, and it's getting to me a little bit. But Perez and Zodiac both in, and thanks to the rules of Formula Virtual, we'll be pitting line and stern rather than having to do the double stack.
That's pretty cool. It's like IndyCar.
Yeah, looks like they're coming out, and they'll be ahead of Lopez relatively comfortably.
They're coming out?
Well, they've already come out.
Not as funny as the solid job joke, but... Ooh.
Did I make a joke that I didn't realise?
Oh,
Yeah.
guys, we've got Alvarez in the pits as well for his final stop.
Oh, no, we throw down to you. You don't interrupt us.
I interrupt you when you're talking rubbish, Lily.
I'll
I mean, to be fair, Lily's always talking rubbish.
I am, it's true, but I'm really good at it.
Yeah, you're not. And that puts Milkovic into the points. I know he's got a pit, but let him have this moment.
Alvarez might actually be on for this if he can chase down and.
I think Alvarez is absolutely going to take this final point. Oh, but he does have to pass Matson, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's why I said if he chases down and spanks Matson.
Yeah, well, I wasn't listening to you. Yeah, we've got something from Rob in the pit lane.
So, this part of the race is quite frustrating for those of us that are looking at the data, because not only are we getting to the point where the strategies varied, which is quite interesting, it's very difficult to see what's going on when Ruiz and indeed the rest of the front runners are in quite such good form. Because from 10th and below, we don't actually have any data on the gaps between the cars anymore.
We could always see if we could change it to an interval thing. Is it raining? It looks really dark.
It does suddenly look really dark, doesn't it?
Really dark.
Oh, and it's
never rains.
very, very grey in the background.
I think it's raining because I did see a little bit of something flick up.
I mean, where the bloody hell has that come from? It was bright blue sky not 3 minutes ago. Oh, as Campos is all on the curb on the outside of the head.
But he's gone and done it. He's around the outside of Milkovic. Oh, he's got the outside for the final
Campos
corner.
is into the points.
Oh no, here
No, never mind.
Not helpful at all.
He buggered that one up, didn't he?
He did a bit, and we're just going to go down to...
Oh, as Campos throws it down the inside,
no!
he's sideways and very, very nearly into his teammate. There's, just up above then, on board with Campos, you can see the sudden massive grey cloud that has appeared over the circuit.
I suppose the best person to tell us if it's raining or not would be someone standing outside. Robert. Oh, because we've got a yellow flag in the first sector.
Yeah, we'll just hold off throwing down to Rob. As well, that's now gone. I think that looked like a slow Lucas.
No, Alvarez.
Oh yes, and that was some debris on the track there. As we have a yellow flag. That's a Franklin. Who is that's Timo
Kinnaman.
Kinnaman? Timo Kinnaman then is out of the race and he's lost his front right wheel. So there has been contact there for Kinnaman, and that is well, that's quite big for the Constructors' Championship.
I think that's Alvarez and Kinnaman coming together, but we'll have to wait to see. As Rob's just told us in our ear, only 3 places for Adrian to win. Also, that yellow flag
and 43 seconds. Here we go, on board with Alvarez then for the replay. So he went up the inside of one of the Ingrams, spun it round. So that would have been Matson who's trying to pass, wouldn't it? And nearly got himself beached to the gravel as he rejoined.
That'll be it.
Ouch! That was a very, very unsafe rejoin from Sergio Alvarez. And I dare say that's a penalty coming his way.
That is absolutely a penalty coming. Look, Kinnaman, nothing he could do.
There was nothing he could do.
Is there an echo in here?
Is there an echo in here?
Is there an echo in here?
Oh! Okay, finally. We're going to throw down to Rob for any information you've got for us on the rain, the condition of the drivers, just anything interesting. Just throw us some good content.
It was briefly spitting in the pit lane, but it does actually feel like it's cleared up slightly.
Sorry, Rob, I just want to interrupt. That wasn't spitting, that was the bird above you. It just had a pet.
We can actually.
Oh, it is raining! I just seen rain!
Yeah, we've just.
Interesting.
Yeah, okay, it has just. It's starting to rain relatively moderately, I'd say, in the pit lane at the moment. I don't think it's going to necessarily be bad enough as it stands. There's blue skies all around as well. I don't think we'll be seeing anybody having to pit for intermediates or wet tyres, but it remains to be seen. I'll keep my eyes out.
I'm starting to wonder if that might be your Michael Fish moment. There's not a hurricane coming.
What I will say is that no matter what, I think we're going to get wet at some point because my arthritic left toe is giving me shit.
It is wet now, though.
That's why my arthritic toe is giving me issues.
Can I just point out, until that moment just then, when Ruiz pits, this could be crucial then. Enrique Ruiz has gone on to some fresh medium tyres.
Medium tyres.
Yeah, because he pitted on lap 25.
Yeah, but what if the rain comes down now?
Then he kills himself.
That's really going to cost him. We'll have to keep an eye on this then. Ruiz rejoins in 2nd place. As I just want to say, before Matson managed to get past his former teammate? No, Campos was teammates to Milkovic, wasn't he?
Ruiz nearly spins it. It looks
Ruiz
like really...
Yeah, big oversteering moment.
Yeah, those cold tyres in these greasy conditions are not going to do him any favours. He's going to have such a hard time getting them up to temperature.
Absolutely, as he's currently behind Thierry Zylander then, trying to put a lap on Belgium, and Zylander is not getting out of the way. I'm going to go back to my point. Before Matson made an overtake, we had 2 Chimas in the points.
Hey!
But not anymore, but...
Here comes Ruiz, the man with a plan.
As it really looks as though it's quite heavy out there now. Zylander defending far too hard against Enrique Ruiz. And that's not what you want to see. But yeah, the rain really coming down here now in Turkey.
Oh, I'm Jason Statham. That was all I wanted to add.
Wonderful, thanks for that.
Matson goes around the outside of Milkovic. Effortless. They're kicking up some spray now. No, they're not.
Yeah, right. Klaas in the pits then. Klaas van Snelheid into the pits. And he's gone for some mediums as well. So obviously still not wet enough for the drivers to consider the wet tyres.
Yeah, like Rob said, I don't really think we're going to see wet tyres today.
Ruiz spins! Enrique Ruiz spins at turn 1, then trying to put a lap on Sergio Alvarez. And he's got a Downton going either side of him. And Ruiz slips to 3rd, and he's sat in the middle of the track, and there's contact. And that was Ruiz parked in the middle of the track and being run into by one of the Andromedas, and that was absolutely atrocious.
Once again, I can absolutely see a penalty coming for Ruiz for that. Driving into oncoming traffic on a race circuit doesn't usually go well, especially in wet conditions.
So here we go, on board with the Brazilian then. So he clips the curb on the inside while trying to lap Alvarez, who admittedly should have got out of the way. As he's recovering, he sees a Downton going inside of him. That's probably unsettled him a little, and then on board with Hoskins, and he comes around to find Ruiz driving onto the racing line and absolutely nowhere to go for the Brit.
Wipes him out. Yeah, nothing that Hoskins could do. That is ridiculously unsafe. We haven't seen that kind of driving from him, from Ruiz, since 2015.
I don't know. There was a couple of seasons ago or so he was driving a little bit erratically and
That's
causing
true,
incidents.
No, I haven't. So
we've got just a shout from Rob in the pit lane. I think Rob, you say the rain has stopped in the pits.
In the pit lane, it's brightened up quite a bit. The rain has died down significantly, so I think we might have a bit of a wet, dry track situation. The first section up to about turn 8 looks a little bit drier than everything up until the final corner.
I was going to say, we can still see out the back of the circuit, there is definitely rain falling, and at least as heavy as it was before. And in fact, onto the wet tyres go the Chimas.
Interesting shout. I don't think it's wet enough for wets.
And surely then, Franklin will do the same for Enrique Ruiz. It is indeed very, very bright in the pit lane, but Ruiz is sat there a while as they change the front wing, and indeed they have. Franklin have rolled the dice, and Ruiz is on the wets.
You'd imagine the best thing to do would be to, I don't know. So here's an interesting one, Rob. How do you work out how much time you're going to lose pitting compared to how much time you lose due to the conditions?
Back at the base, we've done all these calculations long before the race has actually started, but at this point in time, really, it's chief strategist. You've got to go by the seat of your pants. You've got to feel it. This is where the experienced team owners and team principals will really earn their money, because they've seen this kind of thing before. They know what the situation is going to be like.
Look how wet it is out there now. And what we're going to have to... Oh, that's Thierry Zylander well up on 2 wheels. What we're going to have to do is watch the time delta. Look at that. Ruiz has already taken 2 seconds out of last one shower. And Powers runs into his teammate. There's contact between the Downtons here in Turkey. And Nathaniel Powers has lost his front wing. Both Downtons bail for the pit lane.
Yeah, it's drama again. So that's going to be a very long stop. But there's contact there between Klaas and Zylander as well going into the pits. Wonder if Klaas has had any damage from that.
So this this will be wet tyres for both of them. Yeah, Klaas van Snelheid onto the wet. Surely Klaas will come back out ahead of Ruiz as Adrian Simon bails for the pit lane as well.
Yeah, in they all come actually, yeah.
Yeah, so all of them switch into the wet, and this is going to let Enrique Ruiz then back up into what I should imagine is probably going to be 2nd place.
Actually, that's not a bad shout.
Klaas is well away in the lead. Look at that, it's 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's actually pretty decent.
Nathaniel Powers has just managed to get out in front of Adrian Simon, and so holds 3rd then.
Yeah, but Simon is going to be knocking on the door for that podium.
Absolutely is, but he has an Andromeda between himself and Powers, and admittedly that Andromeda needs to get out of the way, but whether it will or never mind.
Well, we haven't seen any harm caused by back markers this race, Bradley.
Yeah, but he's just moved aside.
I was also kidding.
Yeah, I know, I gathered
Just puts Milkovic into the points.
And he doesn't have to make any more stops because he's on the wet tyres.
If he can hold off Matson for... Never mind.
Well, no, he could. He's got a bit of a gap.
Lopez is pitting as well, so...
Yeah, but I think Lopez was quite far ahead of them. Yeah, Lopez has rejoined 10 seconds up the road still.
Alright, smart ass.
I'd just like to point out, Ruiz is still taking absolute chunks of time. Okay, Klaas van Snelheid in traffic. I was going to say, Ruiz has taken like a 1.5 seconds out of him on this lap alone.
Yes, normally very good, but this time around, not the case.
I mean,
Klaas still hasn't made any gains on the on Zylander in front, actually.
No, he hasn't. There's we've got 4 laps to go here in Turkey then, and well, the race has turned on its head in the last 10 laps or so, hasn't it? As into the pits comes Felix Perez.
Oh, Perez hadn't pit. That puts Ellington up into the pit. Is Zolia going to have to pit?
Look how wet the track is now then around turn 1. The tyre marks that you can see Ellington leaving. Even Perez in the pit lane.
Absolutely soggy.
And
I'll tell you, Milkovic might be able to do this. He's not really losing time to...
no, he's up to 9th.
Yeah,
Why is he up to 9th?
It's a great question.
Who's just disappeared? Who have we lost?
It wouldn't be Zylander, would it? No. Vasquez, no. That's odd.
I'm really confused.
Mind you, this is a good finish for AMR. This surely. Well, what's the? Would this affect them at all?
No,
in there?
no.
Oh, just okay.
Oh. I'll tell you what, this would make a difference to you, though.
What?
Milkovic is 9th.
Yeah.
Okay. If, and I really hope I don't curse this, if he can finish there, that's 2 points for Chima,
Yeah.
who currently have 0 points. Which team currently only have 1 point?
Ocelot.
Yep.
Oh, this is suddenly a very big battle.
That would put Chima then ahead of their engine partners.
And we've got, obviously, Milkovic is having to defend against his former teammate of all people, Jean Madsen. So they'll know each other's tricks for overtaking fairly decently.
They certainly will, yeah. Spent several years together at Ingram.
So I guess it's game on at the back end of the points.
Indeed it is.
Imagine like the fairy tale finish if Madsen gets lapped as they cross the line to start the final lap.
Oh, here we go
no,
then.
here we go.
Milkovic covering the inside line. Madsen's got so much more straight line speed. To the outside, into the hairpin then. And this is surely going to be easy for Jean Madsen to move up and into 9th place.
No! Milkovic is keeping it in there.
Oh, yeah, on board Milkovic. Madsen's a little bit squirrely. Around the final corner, Nikolai Milkovic takes it back.
Oh, that's what I love to see.
Great
racing.
But Madsen now in the slipstream, down inside at turn 1. John Madsen cannot make it. He backs out of it then. I think he was about to run into the side pod of the Chima. Yeah, and this is Class coming up to lap the pair of them.
Is it actually going to happen exactly as I foretold?
I don't know, because there goes Madsen up the inside again, and he still can't make it. Jean Madsen then looks as though he's got so much more pace, but at the moment just cannot get the job done.
Milkovic is doing everything he needs to do, making that Chima as wide as possible. I know we're not focusing on the leaders right now, but this is far more exciting to me. This is a little bit of a spicy fight. Although to be fair, Powers is only 2 seconds off of Ruiz.
I was going to say Powers is pulled away from Adrian Simon, hasn't he, and is closing in on the back of Ruiz, who Ruiz has really lucked in with this weather.
It's really saved him because he was pretty much the first on the wet tyres besides someone else. Yes, look, Madsen's had the blue flag. He's had to back off.
Yeah,
so
and Madsen is losing himself a lot of time here. Through goes Klaas-Van Snelheid, but he's now a good 3 seconds back from Nikolai Milkovic, and this could be. I mean, this could do it for Milkovic.
Could do. I mean, that's giving him the gap he needs. But if he can stay ahead of Klaas-Van Snelheid and not get that blue flag, then surely he will.
Yeah, because obviously Klaas is about to start his final lap of the race. Which will mean, because Madsen's behind him, that'll be Madsen's final lap as well. So, it could be exactly as you foretold here, Lilly.
I'd like to think I'm something of a genius, but...
You're not.
I am a bit. Wait, mind you, if Klaas laps... I was going to say, if Klaas laps Milkovic here, then they're still on equal turn. Like, it's back to square one. Yeah,
absolutely. But then, they've only got this lap to do it. So, Madsen... As I think Milkovic is going to let... No. So Milkovic tries to let Klaas through, and Madsen nearly gets him as well. Klaas does indeed put a lap on the pair of them.
Done.
Yeah, Milkovic slots back in between them. And, he's now only got to defend from Madsen for half a lap. Madsen goes up the inside, but Milkovic holds it.
Just about,
Have we ever commentated so much on a midfield battle on the final lap of the race?
No, but like they're fighting so hard, and Zylander is right up there as well.
Zylander waiting to pick up the pieces.
Madsen loses lots of time in turn 8.
Yeah, I was going to say, Zylander waiting to pick up the pieces. If anything goes wrong here, this is going to be an absolute fairy tale for Chima, isn't it? If they can pull this one off. What a roll of the dice with the strategy to call this one.
Yeah, because obviously that's it. Chima were the ones who went first, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if Matson might be too close for that, and he's going to get that slipstream.
Yeah, we're going to see then. So Klaas has only got a couple of corners to go before he becomes the first man that's not Adrian Simon to win. That's Matson spun!
There goes Matson, he
spun,
spinned
and
it!
that seals it surely for Milkovic. As Klaas van Snelheid then rounds the final corner and he's going to cross the line to become the first man not called Adrian Simon to win here in Turkey. It's a great win for the Dutchman then. Ruiz is going to follow him home in second, but the big story there is Milkovic, who is already across the line. Milkovic is 9th in the Chima. Zylander takes the final point in 10th. Campos finishes 11th, having also passed Matson late on. Ruiz and Powers across the line to complete the podium. Adrian Simon can only manage 4th, but I think that's the best he could achieve with that car today. But Nikolai Milkovic and Chima have scored their first points in Formula Virtual.
I don't think I've ever seen such a tense fight for 2 points.
I mean, to be fair, Matson gave that absolutely everything, didn't he? And in the end, he pushed too hard.
Yeah. Strikes me as an odd decision because that 1 point means less to Ingram than it, gaining that 1 point means less to Ingram than it does losing it, I guess. I don't know if it really makes that much of a difference.
Maybe it was more a rivalry thing. Maybe they didn't particularly end on fantastic terms and Matson was desperate to deny him.
Maybe. Or they just felt like having some great racing in the rain.
Yeah, I mean that as well. And it's nice to see that because let's be fair, the last few times we've seen rain in this series, as soon as it's come down and they've switched to the wet tyres, we've seen literally they've just followed one another and nothing's happened. It's great to see drivers battling.
Side-by-side action. Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously we've got Milkovic running up with the race winner, but I bet he feels like he's won the race himself. Top of the world right now, the Russian.
But, well, I mean, that result is great for the championship, isn't it? Klaas van Snelheid, who was 3rd, ahead of Ruiz, who was 2nd, and Powers, who was 1st. So the top 3 will have all closed up then.
Yeah.
After this race here in Turkey, where both Ruiz and Powers made mistakes, lost their front wings, Klaas van Snelheid picked up the pieces to win the 2019 Turkish V-Prix. So then, Klaas van Snelheid joins Enrique Ruiz and Nathaniel Powers on 4 wins this season. And coincidentally, those are the 2 drivers that joined the Dutchman on the podium here in Turkey, despite both being involved in separate incidents and taking off their own front wings. They did recover with the in the rain shower late on. Lewis Hamilton with another great result. Timo Kinnaman an unfortunate retirement as Nathaniel Powers took the fastest lap. What does all that mean for the championship? Well, Nathaniel Powers, having taken the lead last time out, still holds it. The gap is now just 5 over Ruiz and 7 over Klaas van Snelheid. Very, very tight at the top. All 3 drivers within 7 points, and therefore the difference between 1st and 2nd in a race. Only the top 6 can now win the championship. There's been a lot of movement in the midfield. Both Meteor drivers, Lewis Hamilton and Mario Juan Lopez, gaining significant ground with the team's strong double points finish, and that has also helped them in the Constructors' Championship. They have moved up into 6th place past DS Phoenix by merit of a 5th place to Phoenix's 6th, and further down Chima have moved past Ocelot into 11th by virtue of 2.1. At the top, the gap is 78 points between Downton and Franklin. But that's all from our race here today in Istanbul. So from me, Lily and Rob, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for round 14 from Monza, Italy.